Hello everybody, welcome back. We're going all the way this day in Polaris, the last game and the last map of match day 6. We're going to be able to see HEET come up against Hookahs once again, this time on Breeze. We just saw HEET take the first map quite convincingly, there on Ascent, but then Bind was taken by Hookahs, their own map pick. This time we're going to a decider. We're going to go for the reverse sweep for Hookahs to keep their flawless record, and HEET just trying to take that away from them and get into the top ranking of teams with the 2-1 record. How are you feeling about this last map, Moxie?
It's gonna be a hard one, I would say. If we were seeing the same HEET that we saw on Ascent, I would say they had it in the bag, right? We were already very worried when we saw that Breeze would be the decider, that it was able to get past bans. This was the map where they were extremely strong up against Kova, running Monstrum on the Fade for that first time. However, things changed dramatically when we moved over onto Bind, and now I would say it honestly favors Hookahs. The fact that you can play that Viper still, that you can have the chamber as well, does mean that it isn't as much important to keep that economy constantly flowing. Yes, the op is going to be something that you are going to be trying to funnel towards that player. However, Headhunter and Tour de Force are extremely exceptional at being able to hold those distances and play backside of A.
Well, hopefully this time the Viper will be able to use Viper's Pit, because we did not see it once from Mishu there on Bind. Somehow it was only up twice because it was not used at all. So yeah, I would like to see a little more Viper. We're definitely going to see some Viper here on Breeze, but it's everything else that I'm more interested in, because we have seen the capability to run a lot of different kind of comps here. Obviously you do see kind of generally Sova and Sky, or Sova and Ash, sorry, are two of the initiators you generally pick on Breeze, but everything is viable. You see KOs quite a lot of the time. I'm sure Fade would be quite good. The sites are a bit open, so I'm not sure with, you know, the limited range of Fade's abilities whether it would come into play massively, but we have seen it work obviously already for HEET, so it would be an interesting idea for both teams to run that. I wouldn't be opposed to it whatsoever. We have seen, however, today, the only 2 times that Fade has not worked for teams. Alliance first, and now, obviously, HEET lost a map there with Fade. So, well, maybe teams are going to be straying away from it a bit. We were touting how Fade was just so amazing, so much better than Sova so far, and in fact, we are not going to see a Fade whatsoever. These are both very normal comps. The Yoru is interesting, but not out of the ordinary for Breeze.
No, absolutely. I mean, Kix was one of those players as well who picked the Yoru up and was doing extreme amounts of impact with it. King Yuan has been picking up the Yoru more and more. You're going to be running Ramo on the chamber. This was something actually that Kova struggled with, a strategy that Kova struggled with when HEET were defending against them, trying to punish Ramo when King Yuan was playing bodyguard. If you tried to move towards that chamber, the blind side was there. If you tried to push from cave onto a site, well, King Yuan was able to close up that distance with the gate crash, and no matter whether you were on a rifle buy or whether you were on an eco and you needed that close-up distance, Yoru was able to bounce between the both of them.
Well, I mean, this really is pretty much the definition of a mirror matchup. Obviously, you're going to see a little more of that long-range play here from Hookahs with the Jet, but HEET are going to be playing a lot more close range. They're going to want to get that duelist up close. Obviously, Yoru doesn't have a massive inherent advantage from long range, not generally going to pick up the operator. That's why they have that chamber in play, but instead of the chamber, we are seeing a Sentinel from Hookahs. Cypher, incredibly common here on Breeze, so it is really about how you want to play it. Breeze is so open about how you can play your comps that well, you can see, there we go. Look, I told you, HEET are going to want to get up close and they just run their way up A.
Yeah, it is a very big map, and you can see that Hookahs are being very cautious about how they want to move in. That's all very quickly going to change. 0 Point is going to be able to suppress Echo, so the Viper not quite able to use things like those snake bites to stop Hookahs from moving forward. David with those dash lines has 12 seconds to be able to use the ability, and then it will run out. But Waddle is still stuck up in Nest, making sure that Hookahs don't have a safe cross over from the B towards that A site, which is currently abandoned, and it's forcing Hookahs to take fights that they're not really prepared for. HEET now pushing extremely deep into mid, can just try and find these last 2 stragglers of the team, but hello! Akimbo's actually going to punish.
Really even fights going out right now. Akimbo needs a little bit of support. Oh no, that flash hits both Eccles and Akimbo. Eccles is the one that dies. Now it's a 1v1 between Sunshine and King Uyen. You could see the idea from Hookah's moving into this one. They wanted to back out, they got a kill from behind. We have some space to take. Sunshine will manage to get the head. So they do salvage the round. Yeah, they wanted to move into mid, obviously. They got that kill from behind, taking out Remo when he was going for the flank, and they thought, okay, we've opened up some space. They were probably flanking. Now we can probably just head round behind, but yeah, that's not quite how it was. HEET was ready for that eventuality. They had put Yoru up towards mid. They were able to just kind of slow them down a little bit. Hookah's managed to bring it back a little.
Yeah, it's Akimbo as well. Be able to pick up those two players that allows things to swing back into Hookah's favor. You're getting a little bit too over-aggressive towards mid. We'll lose the pistols, and now Hookah's on a buy that you do expect to see coming out onto Breeze. It's gonna be the Marshall out for David. Immediately finds contact, immediately finds a second set up by the flash drive from their KO. It's not going to be an ace, but it's going to be extremely flashy. Jet and KO just have such a good synergy, and it's an absolute pleasure to be able to see it on this map, despite the nerfs coming through, forcing that dash to be just a little bit more costly.
Yeah, well, I mean, that is better than good. As a second round, obviously, you just don't want to lose weapons. Losing one weapon, not a problem whatsoever. Your team builds up enough economy that you can offset that moving forward into the next round. You'll be able to fall by either way. Losing two, losing three is where it gets difficult. But they only lost one. Very nice for them. They can now be confident moving into this, and they will just head all the way in. They do have that KO ult that they can use to disable the abilities of everyone moving forward. Monstrum cannot use a flash here. Akimbo goes down on the ground, but he is not dead. Monstrum trying to make space, and nobody's ready for him to come through. He comes through with 3 and 1 more on the ground. David can't get his teammate up right now. Tries to make space, but Waddle will finish things off, and Monstrum is granted his 4th kill. They bring it back. Only a couple casualties as well.
So I think the thing that we usually see in failed null command pushes is teams expect that they're not actually going to be aggressed upon by the enemy team. It's not lockdown. It doesn't stop you from shooting. And so it makes extreme amounts of sense that Monstrum would just get that one player, sees just the barrel of Masp sticking out, and then pushes forward. And the way that Hookahs are all lined up, it's a conga line straight to the underworld. As unfortunately for them, despite using that really heavy hitting ultimate that they wanted to just move forward and clear sight with, they find themselves having to go once more, slowing things down, trying to get a read on whether HEET are going to be pushing up aggressively, trying to put this chamber into a position to get that first blood, but it is going to be Remo taken out. Eccles able to find Mask, so at least HEET are the only ones who can use that toxin screen and play, and they're funneling Hookahs towards the A site, when HEET are the only ones who can decide when the vertical angle is going to be available. It's going to stunt David's impact towards this site immensely.
Very curious now about the positioning of HEET. They know that decoy got destroyed there. Over towards Canteen there. So I'm not sure why there isn't more rotations coming through. They're all on mid right now. They're going to need to make things happen quickly, but at least Hookahs are still a little scared of there being players around here. They can get in quickly though, get that spike down, and in come the remaining players from mid. Gate Crash is going to be sent all the way down towards doors so he can get back to there. King Uyen. It's really just going to be a slow 4v4 here from HEET. The ult is used, he walks straight into the trap. It does not disable trap unless you get close enough to the Cypher to disable his abilities. Sunshine doing even more work. It really does seem to be... Oh no. Oh no! King Uyen manages to get the trade for David. But it is Hookahs that come away with the round, and it just seemed like they were in control there. HEET didn't really know what to do once they lost their chamber.
Yeah, like, despite the fact that Hookahs are pushing into a defensive toxin screen, you can actually see the 0 point is invested to make sure that there is no one waiting around that toxin screen to collapse on you as you move out from cave. And then with that information, Hookahs know that the site is safe, that they can move forward, get the spike planted. And for HEET, it took them so long to get that rotation safely through that even if they'd got those picks, the spike would have been ticking for such a long time. And now it's not a good buy coming out from the defense, it's the Marshal that's going to be coming on through, trying to just soften up some of these health bars, eat through that armor so that the Vandal can do their job with the spray. Allows Monstrum and Kingyun to be a little bit further back in terms of where they can sit on these sites, and it does mean that Akimbo is taken out of the way. Hookahs now without that flash are going to find it a little bit harder to be able to break into the B site safely without losing a player to Monstrum, who does have Fragment invested now and 2 flash drives still to their name.
Splits apart David from the rest of the team. This time, the first round where that chamber has really gained that early round value, Heat are going to be quite happy to move on to this one. They still have the chamber, they still have their Yoru, so they still have some pushing power. They don't have that KO, however. Oh, sorry, they don't have the Viper. It doesn't matter. They'd already used the wall. Actually, that wall would have been quite useful for that retake, but unfortunately not able to use it. Obviously, Eccles is down. Sunshine is waiting for these players to come around. They will check this corner. He's quicker. And Waddle only has... oh, well, he doesn't anymore. Just have a Marshal. The Sunshine is just so good right now on this map, and... ah, there's the Phantom. Ouch. 145 to the head, and unfortunately, that's not enough. Oh, 149, sorry. 145 is the Sheriff.
Yeah, Masked Wall was MVP in that round as well. Goes up, cuts off all of the control that he wanted to have on towards that B site. The fact that they lost the Viper of their own means that they can't really counter it. And instead they're forced to try and take these longer flank right approaches. You can actually see in the positioning that Heat comes from the fact that they come out from elbow instead of tunnel. It's the only way that they really can approach that site and figure out where Hookahs are positioned without giving themselves away first, and it is very predictable, something that Hookahs are able to read out and punish, as Heat, 3 rounds behind, going to be once again forcing an awkward buy. Hookahs knowing that teams on the defense, when they are on awkward buys, have to come out aggressively forward. Kingyun still able to find one with the Sheriff, going to use the gate crash with their push to try and TP behind a player, but Hookahs are not focusing behind them, they're only thinking of in front.
David will just move in, get 2 picks. Good enough for me. Tour de Force Fort Remoy is right there. He can try and retake this one. It's a 2v3, and they're pinching them down. Dimensional Drift used by Kinguyen to give them some space and give them some information, but he can't get any value out of it because Remoy is taken down. Now Kinguyen has to just teleport back and go into a 1v3 completely fresh. That's unfortunate that the ultimate really didn't come to anything whatsoever. Hookahs not showing themselves. Kinguyen finds the first, but David is there for the 4K with the trade. 5 rounds already for Hookahs, and this is uncharacteristic from them because this is the attacking half.
Yeah, Kingyun having to use the gate crash to escape the ultimate means that all of the information that you gathered in your ultimate is now null and void, because the time it takes for you to get back into the fight, Hookahs have changed up their positioning. Which is why, while Kingyun's able to find one, very unsure on where the other players are actually going to be playing from, and it's only that one pick and not a Vandal carried through into this next round. Heat having to full buy in, the operator going to be coming out from Ramoy. This was something that Kova struggled with when Heat were defending, when it was mainly played on the A side. However, Hookahs have obviously been watching Heat bids. They know to expect it to be playing from that angle, especially with the toxins being positioned over to the A side. And it does mean that Sunshine, expecting the up to be from the A, are actually going to fall prey to it on the B. Game's been given up though. Hookahs have a very good read on where that chamber is going to be playing from. And now they have to make a decision. Do you try and press onto the operator, or do you bite the bullet and move through a toxin screen?
Okay. The decoy does not make it all the way in, which is unfortunate for Kinguyen, because Akimbo has nothing to worry about whatsoever. He didn't even know there was a decoy there. You can turn around this corner hit. Kinguyen completely suppressed and fully flashed. Well done with the pop flash. 4v2. Remoy still has an operator. He was it's so heartbreaking. 7th round, he just manages to get an operator, gets 1 kill, and that's all she wrote. Now in a 1v3, and I mean, he's going for it. All credit to him. I would save the operator at this point. You have absolutely no credits to your name whatsoever.
I mean, it could... oh, no, moving forward. Gonna pass from bridge.
Yeah, he's going for it. I mean, okay. Come on then, Remoy.
Doesn't even have a rendezvous. Okay, finds one onto Masked, 30 HP. Waiting to see if any other player from Hookahs is going to try and challenge this, and then try to save the operator. back out very slowly.
Yeah, fair enough. Not really an exit. That was very aggressive. He really could have lost that operator there. I do not have the cojones to do that. That is
I was on edge of the seat.
impressive.
Hand over eyes. Oh my goodness.
Oh no, you don't give him another. You don't. Akimbo, I'm sorry. I love your bunny hops. Very pretty, awesome. But you really did. You were around that corner for a good half a second. That is enough time easily for EMEA to pick you off there.
Are we gonna get to see the replay? That's the one that I want to see 5 times over in slow-mo and zoomed in.
Oh yeah,
that's my request.
Oh dear, Akimbo. He knew that he was CT as well, and he knew. He went back after that jump, but he that's a ballsy kill.
Here it is.
Oh, you don't do that. Oh well, they have enough economy. It doesn't matter. But it's just an unfortunate fight to lose.
Yeah. Well, he still have the operator, and Remo once again is getting very aggressive, pushing out of doors into mid. Gets a lot of information that Hookahs are not going to be pushing into that space, and so it is going to be just a full dash onto the A site. There's the flash to come on through. Remo's trying to put up a little bit of a threat, but there's the wall bang. No rendezvous out of that one as David very quickly turns the attention to the Viper. And this is all she wrote for the round. He not able to find the picks that they wanted, and they do lose the ARP, and they'll have to, if they want it, buy it up once more.
You know what, Jay, I don't blame you whatsoever for switching to Kingu in there. It looked like he was getting that pick 100% with the Sheriff, but no, Dara just turns around 180, one tap. I don't understand. David is popping off 14 and 4 there. You know, we've seen the highest ACS so far in Polaris is 441. Ooh, if David keeps this up, I am not sure that is going to be a standing record for much longer. That is... He's doing absolutely incredibly. He has his Bladestorm back up once again. He might even get 2 more in this half if he plays it well. 4 rounds, and the way he's putting up kills, it's 100% possible, but he would need to keep that momentum going. They're not even playing operators, really, Hookahs. They're just running it down. They're making it work. And on a map that's as open as this, that really shows an amount of skill, an amount of ability to play with each other, because David can just walk through knowing everybody has his back no matter what.
Well, the difference as well is that Hookahs, they're not running the chamber, so it's a lot more punishing for them trying to run operator on attack, because now, especially with that dash being limited to the 12-second activation opt-in window, David can't as easily escape if you get pinned down, as opposed to Remo, who can go very aggressively forward and get out without needing the team to be able to bail him out. Because when they go for the side swap, though, I'm sure we are going to be seeing the operator coming out from the jet. What I'm really interested to see is that timeout. Is it actually going to mean that HEET are going to be trying to just move on to these sides very quickly and activate that Viper's Pit? There is going to be a Viper's Pit coming on through. It's the defense, though, as HEET opting to use it, trying to push Hookahs away into Hall towards the waiting Sova. This Hunter's Fury could be absolutely brutal if they push in further. Sardines in a can. Idris is going to be coming through. David just trying to get any info on where the players are. Recon Bolt going to reveal the area, but we're not seeing the Hunter's Fury being popped out from Waddle. They have all of the information on where these players are. The corners, the corridors, they're so cramped up, but still not investing that ultimate to try and find a pick.
They're just biding their time, and you just get the feeling here that Hookahs have all the confidence in the world. Hello. Alright, Masked. Pulling a David there. Actually, no. That's fair enough. You never know. Really, Yoru players in 2022 are so unbelievably just no-brain, all W key that just walking through a Viper's Pit. Oh no! Sunshine has made his way up mid, and Monstrum is jumping around. He's having some fun. He's not looking after his teammate whatsoever, and Sunshine just walks into spawn. He doesn't hit his shots, but he's just made space for his teammates now. The spike can come in through. He can get that one down. Uh-oh! That's gonna slow him down. Oh no! Doesn't tag him the first time. Doesn't tag him the second time. He can still plant it, and he misses it! He gets the plant down! Amazing! Mask gets a kill. Kinguyen all the way down now, and there's only 2 players left on the HEET side. They really could have got that one if only that Hunter's Fury hadn't been dodged. David picks up another 2 kills, and Hookahs are unstoppable.
Yeah, Hookahs just have enough time to be able to dodge out of the Hunter's Fury and then get the spike planted on the third strike. It misses. And Hookahs, it's so dicey. You can see they were relying on the Hunter's Fury being there to stop it. I'm sure we're gonna get to see it again in replay. And it's an absolute tragedy for Sova mains everywhere. You hate to see it. It's one of those ultimates that you do rely on for just that moment. It's actually the entire reason we saw he had such a good opportunity to use it early on in the round when Hookahs are pressuring out holes, but they keep a hold of it. And now coming in on the pistols, they don't really have anything that can secure themselves picks. At least not early on in the round, and Hookahs no, but hey ho, Remo's gonna be able to drop Spike Carrier.
Moss does it again. He can find the heads at the very least. Figure out who the real Yoru is. There's Kinguyan. He'll get out of there. Eccles doing damage. Akimbo right up next to him. He'll just spray down, find the head. It's just Monstrum left. In the words of a certain Joshua Wilkinson, if you control halls, you control the world. But this time HEET. They've controlled about half of the world. Nothing more than that. Hookahs are going to be able to get that spike down once again, and it's Monstrum to try and retake this into a Viper's Pit. Much more liberal with the Viper's Pits than Mishu.
Spike planted.
And Akimbo still has his ultimate available as well. You want to make sure that Monstrum can't get in here too easily. He has his knife. Can open things up at the very least. Maybe disable that Viper's Pit. It's not going to happen. Must finishes him off. 9 rounds. Hookahs are a completely different animal. They're looking at that flawless record and they want it.
Yeah, Monstrum trying to go for the aggressive intro null command to let the team move on forward and find the pick, as opposed to waiting to play it in the retake. And Hookahs finding that momentum, really looking to edge themselves out over HEET. 8 rounds rather. But HEET have to close up the distance, for at this point you really are just wanting that side swap to come on through so that your economy can start to recover. HEET, however, will be able to buy into this round. Tour de Force going to be out for Remoy. But there's the null command. Akimbo going to be activating that one immediately. Mishu making sure that everyone on Hookahs' side is safe. It's not going to be the same story of Monstrum popping out and cancelling it as we saw previously.
Akimbo flashes himself. Oh, but he gets the kill onto Remite. Can't quite land the hit on the Tour de Force. Oh, didn't get the spike. Uh-oh. Waddle taps the head of Mishu. And now HEET players are coming in from all angles, and they can just spray down the remaining players. They get the second round and a half. Looking to make it 3, but that will not do any economical damage to Hookahs whatsoever. They'll be able to buy into this comfortably. The thing is, right, quickly, you're doing this and you're thinking, oh, I just want this half to be over, I just want this half to be over. You're going to be walking straight into David on the jet with the operator on defense, where Hookahs have absolutely dominated you twice in a row. Their defense on Ascent was just as good as well. It's a scary prospect.
Yeah, and especially for HEET as well, where they really did rely on a lot of rounds on their defense up against Cova. Be able to post those numbers and match wins. Oh, Remoy goes a little bit too aggressively forward with that operator and runs into one too many players. Not able to rendezvous out of that one in time. No. It's gonna be HEET lacking that player to try and find the first pick. Kingu is gonna be able to pick out Mask. Mishu coming under a little bit of pressure, still able to pick up the spike and run. Kingu is actually going for the dimensional drift play to try and get a little bit more mid control and stop Hookahs in the rotation as the spike is making its way towards A. But they've seen the shoulder of the Sova. Mishu's going to pass! Kingu!
I love that. He just walks past the decoy like it's nothing. He did not think about it at all. He was just like, nah, I know what you're doing, Kinguyan. No, get out. All good. Unfortunately, he came up against the real Kinguyan just seconds later, but his team were able to use that to get into the site quickly, and maybe if he'd taken his time and kind of waited there and kind of thought, Yoru, maybe he would have actually lost his team the opportunity to get in so quickly. They now have the spike planted, and it's a 3v3. They have their defensive positionings ready on this one. Akimbo right around the corner here, and he will find the first head of Eccles. Sunshine turning around the corner, getting a second, and he can find his third in the round. Hookahs 10-2 in the first half, and they're moving on to their more favoured half.
this is when it gets really dicey for Heat, right? As now the pressure is on, they have to win pistols. If they lose pistols with Hookah sitting on double digits already, you're in a universe where you have to eco on round 12 so that you can force and buy into essentially match point for Hookahs, and it's gonna be a tough one. Heat have to start really finding this momentum before David's able to buy into things like the operator, or even on that second round, the Marshal.
Yeah. You gotta ask yourself at this point, how much of this, you know, is Hookahs outmatching the team? How much of it is that mental difference after Bind there? Hookahs obviously knew what was gonna happen on Bind. How do you not check that corner, guys?
Down, mid.
I struggle to believe that there is no kind of, you know, tilt or boomage going on the side of Heat here, because the unforced errors are ramping up exponentially round by round now. Raymoy is going to have to bring this back in a 1v5, and that is a monumental task against a team with the confidence and the momentum of Hookahs. Now, Raymoy beset on all sides by Sunshine, David, Mask, Mishu, and Akimbo. He's not going to get out of there with his life whatsoever. 11-2. Heat have to buy into this round, and that's exactly what they will do.
Show me a Marshal! That's exactly what Hookahs are going to be buying into, and it forces Heat's hand. They too have to buy into a Marshal if they want to be able to contest mid. But for Heat, it really is key that they just let themselves reset, let themselves find their calm. Honestly, I would love to just see a timeout come through from them so they can make sure everyone's on the same page, because if they make the same mistake of just not clearing those angles, Hookahs have already won Breeze. Is now a very tense approach comes out from Heat, very tentative, trying to avoid Nest entirely. Toxin Screen gonna be cutting off both tunnel, but also that approach from defender's side. No Archer's control going to be coming out for Hookahs, making sure to try and minimize the Marshal's impacts and let Heat get as safely as possible onto the B, but no one's played Masked. And now Sunshine's in the cage, as King Yuan being able to close up that distance. Akimbo's going to be able to throw in the fragment, forces away Ramoy. And Spike is still on that B side, but Akimbo is wrapping around Ramoy, not looking behind, expecting Nest to be clear. Is now going to take it to a 1 versus 2. And David, all the way from B window, lands the Sheriff shot. All that's needed to chip down the little remainder of Remo's HP, and we go to match point.
I am in absolute awe at this Hookahs side. It doesn't matter what Heat throw at them. You know, okay, look, Breeze, we knew that Hookahs are relatively comfortable. Really?
Oh.
That's just BM at this point. We know that Hookahs are comfortable on Breeze, but we've seen Heat pop off on Breeze before. It's not like they haven't played incredibly well. Hookahs have just brought out something completely new. They're walking in with judges. David doesn't care at all. He's not giving Heat the time of day. Waddle just walks on through, gets completely slammed, and David is now walking into Cube with his judge. He'll get another kill. Onto Remoy. There are 3 players left to deal with. He gets a 3rd with the judge. From most of them from medium range at this point. It's just Eccles left, 1v3. He has his Bulldog in hand. He gets 1 kill. Can he get the spike down now? It's going to be an impossible job to do this one. I am not understanding what is going on here. Eccles looking for this one. He won't find it. Yoru outdated. Chamber overrated. Long have we waited. Hookahs over... Hookahs activated. Sorry, I had to get my camera on in time. So I messed up the quote. Damn.
All of that. That's the new copy paste. Chat, I am expecting
I'll repeat it
this
again.
now.
I'll repeat it again. Sorry. Yoru outdated. Chamber overrated. Long have we waited. Hookahs activated. There we go. I mean, what an amazing performance from that team.
I prefer it with the fumbles.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it is better. Obviously, you know, towards the end of the broadcast, I can't speak anyway, so it's kind of, you know, authentic that way, right?
Well, for Hookahs, they continued their win streak, undefeated, the only team with a flawless run of Polaris. And I mean, we did doubt it. We did point out that the two teams they had faced previously were not up the upper echelon of the bracket. This would be the true test to see whether or not Hookahs really can stick at that top spot and find themselves being the favorites coming in. And yeah, absolutely, I'm expecting absolute magic when Hookahs meet up against Finest. I think that's going to be an absolute banger of a match, but for now, when you look at their performance up against HEET, it was absolutely stellar. There was a little bit of a fumble on the first map where there was a struggle to try and deal with all of the synergies that HEET was throwing out with that composition, but when we moved through onto Bind, they just looked absolutely refreshed. They were finding so much momentum that they then carried through onto Breeze, and the fact that it was just unparalleled aggression that David could literally just press the W key and move forward. And we talked about Hat Attack on Breeze hosting for Excel 441 ACS. We've got another player who broke an ACS of 400 in the chat.
I put David on that chat more often because that is absolutely incredible. 416 ACS. These are numbers you see once in a blue moon. We don't see that kind of stuff on VCT. We don't see that kind of stuff in ranked. 400. We've now seen 2 players break 400 ACS in only a few weeks. That is absolutely incredible. 4.1 KDA from David. We're going to have an interview with Must coming up very soon, but that is just an incredible performance. All right, Must, are you there? How are you feeling about after that game? Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Hello. I'm feeling great. Holy, that was a good game. Like, I don't know what to say, man. I'm so pumped I can't sit still. I'm sorry. Woo.
It definitely was. Look, you're the only team to keep a flawless record, concluding the 3rd week of Polaris. Are you fully confident going forward now, or is there still work to do? A little bit of homework on the remaining teams?
We're so confident. Like, we went into the split with the revenge in our mind. We just showed that we can revenge and beat all the teams we met so far. So we're very confident. We keep progressing and getting better. So all the other teams just have to be more scared. I feel like what we showed today, I really just embodies what we've been showing in Prague as well, and it's just been so great.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to ask, that second map Bind, that composition, we weren't expecting it. The official NE Twitter wasn't expecting it. Getting to see the Fade and the Yoru, how did the team handle that pick coming through?
I mean, we haven't had most prags against Fade. She's quite broken, if you ask us. On our attack, we couldn't really find out how to counter the Fade stuff they would throw over the map and stuff. It really came down to, okay, where's Fade not for us to go? But at the end of the day, the defense we had was like countering a Sova because we knew it would come on the back wall or whatnot. It was just our attack who was struggling a little bit. We felt like we wanted 4 rounds and stuff, and we would be great, and we got that, and we won the rest of the rounds. So it worked.
Absolutely. Yeah, win rounds, you win the game. That is generally the best strategy to go into a game with. Look, last time you came up against HEET, you lost 0-2. I mean, what changed since the promotional tournament to give you the upper edge?
I mean, just yeah, that's a very good question. Let me think. No, I think we just, when we played against HEET last time, they hit the day. They had some lucky shots. We were feeling like, okay, this is not our best performance. We didn't have the best prag in and stuff. We've really been putting in hours lately, and we scouted them a lot this time compared to last time. So we knew what we were going into most of the maps. So we're feeling pretty confident on our scouting of the enemy this time, more than last time.
Brilliant.
And we heard a little bit earlier in the first matchup that Excel consider Finest to be their true rivals, being the only team who is currently sitting at Flawless and yet to face both Excel and Finest. Which team are you more afraid of?
I mean, right now Excel is looking pretty good. I think last time we met Excel in the last split, we got demolished, absolutely. So I think we're a little on the back foot on that one. We still gonna just show our grade and hopefully beat their ass. We have a great split so far, and we're gonna take that with us. I mean, we're not scared of anyone. We want revenge all day long. Keep it coming.
All right, brilliant. Well, you know what? You've talked about the other teams, you talked about the fans. What do you have to say to potential orgs here? You know, you're one of the few teams here who are not signed, and there's so much confidence here. There's so much quality. We've seen in chat people saying, "Why aren't these guys signed?" What do you guys have to say to that? Are you looking to stick around as a team? You're looking to get signed by an org?
Yeah, I mean, hashtag sign who cars is trending. We're the most driven team in the field. We don't have backing power or any funding or anything, and we're doing this with jobs, with studies, and everything. And we keep beating really good teams. Like, I mean, if we could put more time in, we would be the best team very fast. Sign us. We're so driven. I just want to be the best. I want to get my revenge to split, show we can win playoffs, and just go the whole way. I'm so hungry. We all are.
All right. There you have it. Sign who cars. Sign who cars.
Sign who cars.
And before the matchup, HEET actually had some really big fighting words. They asked on Twitter whether or not you could burn cars. It turns out they were the ones who were burned by their own flames. Do you have any words to say to your competition going forward?
Good luck, boys. It's a vroom this way. We're going to run you guys over. It's just that it is.
Oh,
we're going to run everyone over. We're going to meet.
All right then. Well, I mean, absolutely. Congratulations on that game. That was absolutely amazing. What a sight to behold. The only team that has managed to keep that undefeated streak. Week 3. Let's see how they carry that on. Congratulations, man. Best of luck moving forward. I don't think you need it, but I'll give it to you anyway.
Thank you. Anyway, vroom in the chat.
What? Vroom. All right. Thank you for talking to us. All right, then. That'll be it. Talking to those guys. I mean, what an amazing game. I can't ask for anything better there. We can take a look very shortly at the standings after that game and see exactly where everybody matches up. I mean, as I said, Hukar's the only team now who are undefeated in the group stage. What an incredible team so far. You know, I put them on my predictions. I wasn't 100% sure, but now I definitely am. Hukar's 3-0 at the top of the leaderboard. We got 4 teams with the 2-1 scoreline in Kova, Finest, XL, and Human Tripwires. HEET on the 1-2, and then Alliance and H2O on the rear with the Norton 3.
Yeah, and I'm sure with a performance like that, especially posting an ACS of over 400 on one map, we are very quickly going to be seeing a lot of org interest towards this team. As you have to remember, right, these are guys who do not have access to the resources that people like Finest, XL, HEET, Alliance, all of them have. And they're the only team in this region who is sitting at a flawless 3-0. Think what an absolute powerhouse these 5 players can be when you give them the resources and let them run loose.
Absolutely. I mean, what brilliant. I mean, you just sign them, guys. Seriously, there are amazing teams here who are not signed. Like, hey, you got to get on this. Look, Polaris is one of the most competitive VALORANT regional leagues out there. These guys deserve to be signed. You can see the quality that is on show here. We can take a look at the next play days schedule so you can get excited for what is to come next week. Actually, oh, there we go. We have the town predictions up. We can check exactly who did the best, who did the worst. It's now Nari Mizuki, Sam with the radiant symbol above her head with 8. I have moved my way into second place with that Hukar's prediction. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I will take the applause in chat right now. Everybody else loses out on that one. Can't believe you'd ever vote for HEET on that one. Sorry, HEET. I don't mean to offend you.
You know, you almost had the BM and then you lost it a little bit at the end.
I can never be fully BM. Come on. I'm too nice.
We're too nice. We're too British.
Yeah, too British. Yeah, exactly.
We're too polite when we go through doors. Even when we like go past someone else, we say sorry to the person that we just went ahead of.
Alright then, let's take a look at next week's schedule. You can join us again on Monday to start things off back once again. A little bit more Polaris to whet your appetite. Towards the last half of this group stage, we'll be moving into week 4. Hukars start things off. They're going to be defending that title against Finest. Now, that's going to be a massive match. I cannot wait for that one. And then H2O versus Alliance, the fight to see who is going to be staying at the bottom of the leaderboard and who is going to be moving forward into the 1-win zone. Let's just quickly give thanks again to everybody on the production team, and we can tell you to check out the social media right now, because if you want to keep up to date on this amazing league, I think we've showcased exactly what can be done in this league this weekend. It's been absolutely amazing. Every team has really put in their best effort, so go follow follow the social medias down below and follow all the teams that obviously are competing. You can see ValLeague.ne, on all of these different platforms, and you can find the teams on there as well, but you can keep up to date on everything going on the Polaris circuit right down there, so go check that out.
Yeah, and I mean, Twiggy, I've got to say, I'm looking forward to the action that we're going to get to see. I think that matchup of Hookahs versus Finest has the potential to be the best match of the entire group stages. So absolutely be sure to keep up with all of those links, guys, so you don't miss out on that monster of a match.
Alright then, we've had an amazing 2 days. Me and Moxie have absolutely loved every minute on here. I hope you guys at home have loved all of it too, because I cannot believe the amount of quality we have here over at Polaris, and I'm incredibly glad that I get to cast it. I'm incredibly glad that all of you get to watch it at home. So thank you everybody for watching, and we'll see you once again next week, same time on Monday. Just, you know, I mean, rest up, because after that weekend, I need some rest. I think everybody needs some rest. So, you know, be back, same time next week. We'll see you around. Goodbye, everyone.